Arne Slot makes Liverpool promise. After £125 million? Alexander Isak transfer. Write this down for every agent. Arne Slot speaks in detail about £125 million striker Alexander Isak ahead of his potential Liverpool debut at Burnley this weekend. Arne Slot speaks to the media before Liverpool take on Burnley. Arne Slot has dismissed concerns of Alexander Isak one day going on strike at Liverpool. The Reds boss has insisted the club has always helped facilitate moves for those who want to leave Anfield. And Slot, who could hand the £125 million striker his debut at Burnley on Sunday, has outlined what made Liverpool make the Sweden international the most expensive footballer in British history from Newcastle United on transfer deadline day. A summer-long saga saw Isak first refuse to fly out on Newcastle's tour of the Far East by citing a minor injury in July before he returned to training by using the facilities of former club Real Sociedad without the knowledge of Magpies chiefs. The 25-year-old was subsequently banished from the squad by former boss Eddie Howe before an explosive statement that spoke of broken promises and lost trust was published on Isak's social media accounts, just moments after he was included in the PFA's Team of the Year at an event he didn't attend at Manchester Opera House on August 19th. The two clubs eventually agreed an eye-watering fee of £125 million on August 31st, and the attacker completed his medical the following day before flying out on international duty, where he made his first appearance since May in Sweden's 2-0 defeat to Kosovo on Monday evening. Asked if he feared similarly controversial efforts from Isak to leave Liverpool, who he joined on a 6-year deal on September 1st, Slot said, "No, not at all. It is not necessary at our club because we also trade players. If a player wants to leave and we get the right money for him, then this club has shown for so many years now that we then do so. At this club, it is not necessary at all to go on strike. I think it will have the opposite effect. You can keep on training here, and Harvey Elliott gets his transfer to Aston Villa. Tyler Morton gets his transfer to Lyon. There were maybe 8, 9, 10 players in the last window who just conducted themselves in the best possible way. And we are a club that is trading, so maybe write this down for every agent that has a player here. It is not necessary. If the right price is paid by the right club for the right player, then this club has shown we always do sell because we need this to get our players in. That is different. That is a very positive thing at this club. You get your transfer if everyone is happy." Isak is not expected to start when the champions are entertained by Burnley on Sunday afternoon, having played just 18 minutes since May. But Slot expects the new number 9 to show why he is recognized as one of the best front men around when fully fit. At this moment in time, he isn't the best striker in the world, for the simple reason he has been out for 4 months. The Reds boss added, "If you write I said he is not the best in the world, you have to add that bit, or it is not completely fair because he is one of the best in the world." But for him to become the best in the world, I think the best players in the world win trophies. And that is what he and we need to do for him or someone else to be seen as the best or one of the best. I think there are many reasons why we signed him, but one that maybe stands out for me is that he has already shown this in the Premier League, and I think he is the only exception we made in terms of signing. He is a little bit older than the rest, still quite young, but a bit older, and showed himself in the Premier League. It might put pressure on him and me, but nothing extra. But if have this Liverpool badge on your shirt, there is always pressure. If we wouldn't have signed him, you would probably have told me that you still expect us to compete for the league, which is what we expect from ourselves, so this pressure is always there. Get LFC's 2025-26 third kit. Liverpool's third kit for the 2025-26 season follows the unveiling of the home and away strips and are the first in their new partnership with Adidas. In terms of the money spent for one player, that is also part of our model. It is not the first time we have done this. We did it when I was not there. The ownership did this with Virgil, with Alisson, and now with Florian Wirtz now as well. This is the model we use. We target a player and we want to have him. We decide what his value is. If that matches with what the club wants, then we are not afraid to act. We get that money from trading players and winning the league after we didn't spend anything at all. It would be ridiculous. Arne Slot lifts lid on Liverpool's failed attempts to sign Marc Guehi with admission that it happens to our players as well. Arne Slot has lifted the lid on Liverpool's failed attempts to sign Crystal Palace star Marc Guehi, while admitting it happens to our players as well. The Reds' dramatic deadline day move sensationally fell apart in the final moments of the transfer window, despite the England star completing a medical and agreeing terms at Anfield. What happened? A fee of around $47 million, £35 million, had been struck between the two clubs, with paperwork even submitted to the Premier League. Guehi, who is out of contract next summer, had prepared to commit to a 5-year deal with the Reds. But Palace, unable to secure a replacement in time, pulled the plug at the 11th hour, leaving Liverpool empty-handed. What Slot said. Speaking for the first time about the failed swoop, Slot said, "A lot happened on the final day. I am most pleased that we got the deal for Alexander Isak over the line. Everyone at the club worked so hard to get it done. It would be a bit ridiculous to deny that we were close to signing Guehi. That is so out in the open. But these things happen. It probably happened to our players where they were close to signing for other clubs, and then things changed in the last moment. We would have liked to sign him, of course. If we feel we can strengthen the team, we never hesitate to do so, and that is what we try to do. It is a pity for us and the player, but he is in a good place at Palace, where he won the FA Cup and Community Shield. Let's see what the future brings for him and us. The bigger picture. Despite the setback, Slot insisted Liverpool are not short of centre-back options. Giovanni Leone, signed earlier in the window, is still awaiting his debut, while the established trio of Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, and Joe Gomez remain reliable choices. He added, "Against Arsenal, Ibu and Virgil were outstanding, and then Joe Gomez came in and was outstanding too. Giovanni Leone had his first call-up. Ryan and Wataru can play there, so it isn't like we don't have options there." What next for Liverpool? Away from transfer drama, attention turns to Turf Moor this weekend, where newly promoted Burnley await. Liverpool have made the perfect start to their Premier League campaign, winning all 3 of their opening fixtures, and Slot is eager to maintain momentum. Real Madrid, preparing £52 million, bid to beat Liverpool to Crystal Palace star. Real Madrid are preparing a £52 million, €60 million offer for Crystal Palace midfielder and Liverpool target Morton, according to Spanish publication Fichajes. The Santiago Bernabeu side have reportedly identified the England international as their main target to bolster their midfield in 2026 and are prepared to spend heavily to secure Wharton amid his growing Premier League stature. Wharton has established himself as one of the league's most promising central midfielders and helped Palace win their first major trophy to date last season, lifting the FA Cup at Wembley. Alongside Liverpool, Real are said to be particularly impressed by the phenomenal 21-year-old's profile, with Xabi Alonso keen on signing a player of Wharton's style, capable of breaking attacking play and providing balance in midfield. Real Madrid, keen on Adam Wharton. According to Fichajes, Wharton has no shortage of suitors across the continent following his promising season at Selhurst Park, with both Real Madrid and Liverpool keeping a close eye on his development. A potential bidding war is anticipated between the 2 Champions League clubs next year, with Wharton representing a midfielder profile that is difficult to find in today's market. Real have undergone a significant squad rebuild over the last 2 summers, focusing on rejuvenating the first-team squad with top-tier talent. Los Blancos welcomed the likes of Dean Huijsen, Alvaro Carreras, and Franco Mastantuono during the summer transfer window, while Endrick and Kylian Mbappe joined last year. Wharton, who joined Palace from Blackburn in January 2024, has made 49 appearances for the Eagles to date, including 3 Premier League starts this season. The 21-year-old midfielder is under contract until the summer of 2029, giving Oliver Glasner's side a strong negotiating position if any interested clubs come calling next year. Summer business at Selhurst Park saw Palace sell star forward Eberechi Eze to Arsenal and nearly part ways with captain Marc Guehi, whose £35 million move to Liverpool was called off at the very last minute. Regarding incomings, Palace signed promising La Liga forwards Yeremy Pino and Cristantes Uche, as well as 19-year-old center-half JD Convo from Toulouse. Deals were also struck for veteran goalkeeper Walter Benitez on a free transfer, while left-sided defender Borna Sosa arrived from Ajax. Real Madrid closed to Ibrahima Konate agreement as devastating Liverpool raid. Thunder's closer report. Liverpool star Ibrahima Konate alongside a Real Madrid badge. Real Madrid are increasingly confident of signing Liverpool center-back Ibrahima Konate, according to reports, with a crucial agreement with the player said to be nearing completion. The 26-year-old's contract at Anfield expires next summer, meaning he will then be available to sign on a free transfer, which is not good news for Arne Slot. The Reds' boss will not want a repeat of the Trent Alexander-Arnold situation. However, as things stand, Konate will be able to hold talks with overseas clubs from the start of January, ahead of potentially leaving Merseyside for free. The Daily Mail cites sources in Spain and state that Real Madrid are confident of signing Konate on a Bosman deal next summer. It's claimed that these sources are the same as those that informed them that Alexander-Arnold would be making the switch to the Bernabeu before the deal went through. And interestingly, Madrid reportedly believe they are close to reaching a verbal agreement with Konate, which could progress to be formal terms in the coming months. Konate, however, is yet to inform Liverpool of any wish to leave Anfield, giving Slot's side a window of opportunity to tie him down to a contract extension. The Reds remain in talks with the defender and his agents. Liverpool must not underestimate Real Madrid. Despite Liverpool first holding talks with Konate over an extension last autumn, the player is understood to have already rejected 3 proposals from the club. It is no secret that Real Madrid are admirers of Konate, but Liverpool still have time on their side, and reliable journalist Fabrizio Romano reported earlier today, August 11th, that the Reds still have hope of agreeing a new deal. Real Madrid have a genuine interest in the situation of Ibrahima Konate, but they don't want to upset Liverpool, Romano said on his YouTube channel. Liverpool will have the chance, for sure, in September, October, November, December until the end of the season to try and extend the contract of Ibrahima Konate. Despite agreements between Liverpool and the player being very close 1 year ago, these conversations stopped because of new details being discussed. However, Romano adds that Liverpool must not underestimate Madrid's advances, with a repeat of the Alexander-Arnold saga possible. Real Madrid internally keep thinking of Konate. They will maintain this name high on their list for names in 2026, Romano said. And don't underestimate their interest in Konate because Real Madrid are seriously interested in the player. But for now, the ball is still in Liverpool's court. Even this summer, Liverpool wanted to discuss with Konate, but still no agreement. Alexander Isak stuns Liverpool player as Arne Slot, absent from training. Liverpool are gearing up for a return to Premier League action this Sunday with a trip to Turf Moor to face Burnley. The Reds, who currently top the league table, resumed training on Wednesday, offering fans an inside glimpse into their preparations. In the coming weeks, Liverpool will be tested as they juggle Champions League and Carabao Cup commitments alongside their Premier League campaign. Arne Slot's squad is set to play 7 matches in just 21 days, with fixtures against Atletico Madrid, Everton, and Southampton following this weekend's clash. The key to navigating this busy period will be maintaining a fit and healthy squad and successfully integrating British record signing Alexander Isak, who needs to build up his match fitness. The striker, who recently joined from Newcastle United, was spotted in training for the first time since his move. Here's what we noticed from the session ahead of the return of Premier League action. A warm welcome to Liverpool, Alexander Isak. Isak appears to be going above and beyond for his new club. He was the only player involved in September internationals to report for training on Wednesday. Despite not having played under match conditions for over 3 months prior to Monday, the forward looks sharp. Alexander Isak could make his Liverpool debut at Burnley. Against some of the younger defenders, the £125 million signing demonstrated his skills in several build-up play simulations at the AXA Training Center. Perhaps most notably, he showed off his pace by darting past 19-year-old Welity Lucky and coolly slotting the ball into the near bottom corner. The reality that Isak is well-versed in the rigors of English football should benefit the Reds as he works towards peak match sharpness in the forthcoming weeks. Beyond that, the Swedish forward appears to be adapting well and seems to have already struck up a friendship with Jeremy Frimpong, Arne Slot. Absence. Burnley's first round of training had a notable absence head coach Arne Slot. He is expected to join the rest of the squad soon. In his stead, Wednesday's training session was led by Liverpool's lead physical performance coach, Ruben Peters, and former first-team player, now under-21s coach, Jay Spearing. Eagle-eyed viewers of Liverpool's inside training video posted on YouTube Wednesday night may have spotted a charming detail in the background between the timestamps of 2:03 and 2:10. During a scene where Frimpong is completing a running exercise in the indoor AstroTurf area of Liverpool's training ground, 3 pictures can be seen above the wooden paneling lining the edge of the room. They appear to be recent additions and depict Chiesa celebrating his goal against Bournemouth, Rio Ngamoa celebrating his match winner at Newcastle, and Dominic Szoboszlai taking his free kick against Arsenal. It appears that Liverpool has begun a collage of their memorable moments from the 2025-26 campaign, possibly as motivation to continue creating more memories. Frimpong injury boost. Regarding the Dutchman, whilst nothing has been officially confirmed, the training ground footage suggests positive developments ahead of the journey to Burnley. Frimpong had been absent for the victories over Newcastle and Arsenal prior to the international interval due to a hamstring problem, but as expected, appears close to making his comeback. The fullback participated fully in squad training, both indoors and outdoors on Wednesday. Slot is expected to provide clarity when he meets with journalists before the Turf Moor encounter. Federico Chiesa frustration. Federico Chiesa was also present for the initial training session following the international pause. For the majority of the time, his clinical finishing matched the standard he displayed against Bournemouth last month. However, he lacked that same composure under pressure during the session, as one of the coaching staff started counting down from 5 to indicate the conclusion of a bibs versus non-bibs drill. The Italian unleashed a first-time right-footed effort from beyond the penalty area. A glance skyward and the exclamation, "Oh my days," serves as perfect evidence that Chiesa has completely embraced life in England. The 27-year-old is set to participate in the upcoming Premier League and Cup matches, but will be absent from the Champions League as he was not included in the League of Phase squad.